This is the kind of distortion that I like. Okay, last pedal in the lineup. Okay, the Angry Fuzz. Have you kids heard Purple Haze ni Hendrix? Do you guys remember the ending? The outro guitar solo. Hendrix used a guitar, an effects pedal called the Octavia. It adds another a note, an octave up from the note that Hendrix is playing. Now the Angry Fuzz is it does that. So nagdadagdag siya ng note an octave higher. And on that, based on that design alone, I'm you know, this would be a nice pedal na pang gimmick. Comparing it to can you hear the overtone? There's a higher note. There's a note an octave up from the note that I'm actually playing. And because it's a fuzz, it's not very clean, but it's a very interesting pedal. I'd buy this just to have it in my pedal board. Last but not the least, the Zakk Wylde Overdrive. Doesn't sound like Zakk Wylde, no. It does not. The reason why it doesn't sound like Zakk Wylde is because A, I'm not Zakk Wylde. B, I don't have a Les Paul with active pickups. And C, I don't have a JCM 800. You know, we all have our favorite guitar heroes, and then we say, here's the Yngwie J. Malmsteen DOD preamp, whatever, and then you plug it in and it doesn't sound like anything like Malmsteen. What you always have to remember is when you buy these signature pedals, usually they're tuned to the equipment and the playing of the person the pedal is named after. If you buy this Overdrive and then you're like, but it doesn't sound like Zakk Wylde, niloko ako. Actually, no. You're just not Zakk Wylde. And you don't have his gear. You don't have his setup. So whenever you see a signature pedal, forget what it says. Forget forget the name that's on it. Just plug it in and ask yourself, what do I want to sound like? And don't think of brands, don't think of all the switches and knobs and everything. Just think of what you want to sound like, because I have my preferences with some of these pedals. There are some that are great. There are some that are okay. There are some that I don't like. But it's different for everybody. And bottom line is, you have to know what you want to sound like. You have to know what that tone is in your head. Ask yourself, what is your ideal tone? And trust me, you're the only one who can answer that. Try to identify a tone that you believe is an extension of your voice. I don't know if this will help, but whenever I play through any pedal, usually I'll just play one chord, or usually I'll just play one note first, and then I try to imagine myself without a voice, without my speaking voice. And then I kind of imagine, okay, if I didn't have a speaking voice and I only had the guitar to actually speak with, the guitar is going to be my vocal cords. Is this the tone? Is this the vocal tone that I want people to hear from me? As opposed to, I want to get the gnarliest pedal because, you know, it makes me feel like I'm on steroids or something. At least that's, you know, that's how I look for pedals. That's how I look for sounds. I imagine myself without this voice. And all I have are my fingers. All I have is the guitar. I turn on the amplifier. I plug into an effect. And then, yeah. I don't know if it makes any sense. But it's kind of like, you know, I want the sound, the vibration that I'm getting from literally the sound coming from the amplifier to sound like I could have been born with it. I have to feel it in my chest. I have to feel it in my throat. And I don't know if that's going to help. And we probably all have ideas on how to look for our personal note or tone. But you know, that's how I approach it. So, best wishes sa inyong lahat. Depende na sa budget nyo and your, you know, what tone you seek, whatever effect or pedal you fancy, and just know what find out what your tone is, and it'll make things easier for you.